What's up guys, Woody here, back with another Mythgard video, and today it's another deck video. Where we can finally talk about a deck I've been playing, and a deck I've been really enjoying. As the video title says, this is my new favourite colour combination, this is my new favourite deck. And as always with all these deck videos, there'll be a budget version and there will be a fully optimised version. The budget version is one that I have tried out a couple of times in casual and is very much a more of an affordable option. Whereas the optimised version will probably have more mythics and then potentially more rares, and it will be more expensive to craft, but it's the one I'll be playing on ladder. Now, we're talking about green-red today, and green-red is, this deck was heavily inspired, I say inspired, directly taken from Endozoa. Endozoa created a deck for Moonlight Masquerade, the tournament that happened last month at Halloween. And I really liked the idea of the deck. I saw them playing it a little bit on stream, and I really liked the deck, so I effectively copied the deck, but then this isn't Endozoa's deck. I've made probably 5 or 6 changes over the past probably 3 weeks of stuff that I liked or didn't like in the deck, and built it into how I would like to play the deck. So yeah, that's where it's come from. So I don't want to sit here and go, this is my deck, I created this completely myself. Not at all. It's a green-red mid-range deck. Endozoa is one of the best deck builders I know in the game. And so yeah, I used them as inspiration to then stem off on this deck here. And the budget version is still pretty strong. Green-red offers a lot of potential in terms of it has a good early game, it has good mid game, and it has good late game. And it's, as a mid-range deck, it works pretty well. But anyway, enough of the whole intro. You guys want to see the decks, so let's jump into it. What I will quickly say is there's a timestamp right now. You can look bang right in the there you go, middle of the screen. If you want to. There you can go and check out that time. There is where the optimized deck is up. So if you want to go straight to the optimized deck, if you've got lots of cards, go there. That's the optimized deck. Otherwise, we're going to jump straight into the budget one first. So the budget deck, guys, is it's as you know, it's red green. It's in terms of costing, it is 10,000 essence. So it's pretty it's pretty cheap. It's not extortionately expensive. It runs 2 mythics in this version of the deck. I'm going to recommend, if you don't own these mythics but other mythics, some that you can change around. But I'll run through the cards, I'll run through some strats, we'll jump into a game, and then we'll go on to optimize. So, 2 Extract Life, 4 Ignitions, 2 Frecky Huntress, 2 Panic Raiders, 2 Shopworn Balls, 3 Cyclopean Giants, 1 Okadodona, should be 2 Wings of Abaddon, but anyway, don't worry, a Wings of Abaddon, oh no, sorry, optimized version has 2, Wings of Abaddon, 2 Magmatar, 3 Grinning Collarbock, a Rewind Hex, Wake the Bones, 3 Detained, 4 Gallows Boy, 3 Raid the Tombs, 2 Gamion, 3 Volkov Heavy, and 1 Iku Torsu. Now, one thing that the budget version massively lacks over the optimized version is a late game. In terms of a substantial late game. You have like Volkov Heavy's good mid to late, more mid. Magmatar against mid. The only late game you really have is Iku, but it's because the other cards that are late game are very expensive in this deck. So what I'm going to do, so if you do, for example, with Iku, if we go to, or Iku, if we go to Iku, if you have Short Stag instead of Iku, throw Short Stag in. If you have both of these and then both put them in, the optimized version, I will run Murmur, I'll run Short Stag, and I'll run Iku. If you had Beast, I don't run Beast because it's slightly too expensive, but if you do have Beast, then with Collarbox especially, you can get Beast out. You can get Beast out turn 6, turn 7. It's pretty big. So if you're running Beast and you don't have either of these, then just throw 2 Beasts in there. So you can still get to Beast. It's slightly more expensive, but that's kind of where the late game lacks here. Same if we go to red. Red late game. The actual optimized would run something like 7 Ring Rituals. It runs Sideshow Chimera. These are both cards that kind of offer a mid to late game, and red doesn't have a huge late game, but they're cards that are missing. So if you're wondering, well, where's my late game? That's where it is. It's in the optimized version. But anyway, back to the budget version. So cards here, like you have your Panic Raiders to keep your card draw. We're running Turn of Seasons anyway to get card draw, and they're very rarely burn through hand. Shopworn Ball is a card that shouldn't be overlooked. Cycling through your deck adds consistency, and it's very good. This card I overlooked for way too long. Putting this card out on curve is they have to answer it. They simply have to answer it. The focus 5 means you're doing 7 damage to face if they don't put something there. And you're also dictating where they can play cards, because they play a card directly in front of it, you're doing 7 damage to that card in front of it, okay? Not many cards can survive 7 health that can go out on turn 4. In fact, I don't think there's any that can survive 7 health out on turn 4. Using it as a chump blocker with 6 health is pretty meaty as well. Even on curve on turn 4, there's not many cards. Even swinging 2 cards into it with 6 health isn't always going to kill it, okay? Obviously, if Winter's up and it's fragile, that's a little bit different. But do not overlook this card, guys. This card is super good in this deck. And playing it wide on curve, if you can really dictate your opponent and make them go, oh, shite, I need to answer this. Otherwise, I'm taking 7 damage to the face. So, now the mythics we've gone with here, I've gone with Oak of the Donor. Now, this is a very mid-rangey card, okay? It comes out, if you can play it on curve, great. When one of your minion dies and your opponent takes 1 damage and you gain 1 life. So that's already a swing of 2, which is pretty good. When you die, when this card dies, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and draw a card. And it's a 4/3. It's just a very solid, consistent card. They don't want to remove it because they're going to give you card draw, but they want to remove it because they don't want the passive going off. It's a solid card. If you don't have or you don't own Oak of the Donor, the other cards that you can put in over it would be something like Gigamatakia. It's not a body, but it's a control type card. Or Sideshow Chimera, if you're running that. Obviously, 7-Ring Ritual, if you're running that one there. If you haven't got any of those, then this is a card you're really going to want in this deck. You're going to run it in almost every red mid-range deck. But you could end up settling with someone like Duskwing Angel. It's not as good. It's more expensive. You've got the life tap on there. It's okay. It's perfectly fine, Duskwing Angel. It's not amazing. But anyway, then Wings of Abaddon is just a solid card. The optimized version runs 2. This is just in there, a bit of rush to the face, a bit of overrun. It's nice spot removal. It's just a good card. Magmatar can clear lanes for you as well, okay? Now going on to green. Color Box, they're just, I love these cards. Some people think they're overrated. I mean, that's fair enough. If they think they're overrated, fine. I'm not going to disagree. I would disagree with them. I would say that I think these cards are very good. If you can find it turn 1 and you're playing first, unless they've got an ignition in hand, there's almost no way they can answer it. Even if you don't get greedy with Color Box. Even if you get 1 charge of it, trade it into face, okay? Just take it, because if they can get something where they can bump it back to hand, you're playing green and they can detain it and then bump it back next turn. That's rather annoying when it gets bumped back to hand and you lose your mana. So don't get greedy with this card. Take the 1 extra charge mana. It means you can play one gem ahead of, or 1 mana ahead of curve, and that could be huge, okay? Rewind Hex is purely a tech card. It's purely in there just because there's a lot of enchantments around at the moment. Enchantment decks tend to, especially the red-blue enchantment deck, tend to get through their hand pretty quickly. So when I get to like turn 5, turn 6, I'm still breathing on that turn. Playing this to put an enchantment on top of their deck and put a card back in their hand means next turn they have to play that enchantment again. If it's not a rush minion, they got to wait for the cooldown again. I'm slowing their play down. I know what they're drawing next turn. I'm completely slowing them down, and that can give me 1 turn to kind of get my breath back and get back in front. It's the only reason it's in there. If you want to cut it, you're more than welcome to cut it, okay? Wait the Bones is fine. Detained is, you can run 2 or 3 of them. Great cards. Gallows Boy, optimized version runs 3. This one runs 2 because you want to be finding it really. Gallows Boy is an incredibly good card on turn 2. Against blue, the warded means it really doesn't get removed with any AoE effects. The free damage with Slayer is awesome. It removes a lot of minions up to 4 mana. So it can trade into a lot of stuff. It's just a good all-round card. Raider Tombs, card draw. Gamayon is just there for consistency, just for dividation. Agile 4. I don't actually run any of these in the optimized version. I do like this card a lot. But it's definitely a card, if you wanted to run it in the optimized version, you definitely could. It's a solid card. Volkov Heavy is one of the best greens. I'm going to just say it. It's really good. Playing this, if you have Collar, if you manage to trade him with a Collar and you play this guy turn 4, 5/5 with armor and overrun is insane. Like it can really shut people out in terms of it can really slow down their play. Against Rush, you're almost laughing. They play a Trapezist into it. It's only taking 1 damage. You play it into a Trapezist, it's taking 1 damage and doing 3 overrun. It's very good at slowing down fast decks if you can get it out ahead of curve. Collarbock and IQ. IQ's just in here because it's a big body. 10/10, anything they've got that's annoying, I can throw it down. It's a defender now. But like I said, if you have Short Stag, put that in there instead. If you don't have either of them, then there's nothing wrong with Beast. But yeah, that's the The budget version, we're going to jump over to a game now. We're going to jump into a casual game. Now, this game isn't pre-recorded. We're going to play it right now. The idea being, if I win or lose, it doesn't really matter. It's the idea you can see how the deck runs, okay? Like Frecky Huntress here, it's not the best card. I think it's slightly overrated. But the reason it's in this deck is because with the Ignition, I can potentially set up the 2 damage to the Alpha Strike. Same as with Detained, I can potentially detain something to make sure that this doesn't take damage, and then when I trade into it next time, I can get the Awoken ability off or something like that. But anyway, jump over to a game now with a casual deck, and then we're going to jump into the optimized deck afterwards. Okay, this game is only going to be in casual because I don't want to take an unoptimized deck into Gold 5, so it's going to be a casual game. But anyway, let's go check out how our budget green-red deck runs. Okay, we've got a game against Bitcoin Bandit, and nice job. We are opening with Collarbock. We have a Collarbock in hand. They're playing yellow. Okay, so we're going to play the Collarbock over here because we can potentially... We're going to play over here, actually, because then we can move across and trade it into it, and it gives us more options to where we play it. Wait the Bones is a lot more of a late game card because we don't have anything we want to pull back yet. So we play this here. The reason we play this here, like I said, is now that we can trade across and then trade into this next turn, and then it means we have options of where we play it after that, potentially. End turn there, and let's sort of hand out a little bit here. Okay. So the trade is on here. We can burn one of the Frecky Huntresses next turn. It's a shame we haven't got a turn to play, but hey ho, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Is this mono yellow? It might well be mono yellow. I mean, they've got like the okay, there we go. So we've got Oak now, which is nice. We still don't have a turn to play. What we're going to do is going to burn a Frecky Huntress to start developing a red gem. We're going to play this over here to do exactly the same as what we're doing just here. This is going to allow us to really start ramping up ahead of curve. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this how we can go here. Turn 3 is going to be Frecky Huntress. We're probably going to play Frecky Huntress just here because we can trade into this and get the Awoken ability off. Nice. Extract Life is a little way off here, and I actually want to start developing another red for Oak next turn. So I'm going to burn Extract Life. We're going to move this across now to trade this. We're going to trade this in now and take the mana. And then we can play Frecky Huntress here now. So we now already have... We can already get Volkov Heavy out next turn if we want to. We will potentially... Well, we should have an Awoken... Okay, but they're playing OTK. We should have a Awoken Huntress on the board next turn. Which can be pretty dangerous, these guys, early game. The question is, what do we play next? It depends. If they don't put anything fretting out, then we'll probably play Oak. If they do put something threatening out, then we'll probably play Heavy. It all depends on how we... Okay, they're playing Tricolour. Tricolour OTK, interesting. We can burn this now. And we are going to trade this to get the Awaken ability up. Move this over to swing in here. And we're going to drop down the Oak just here. Because what we can do now is having this here is not the end of the world. Because if they play something here to try and get rid of Huntress, then we can always move this across and trade into it to do the 1 damage to potentially bring their life down, which will fit with this. Okay, so they're playing Misanthropia, which is fine. We get the mana back on it. We get to draw a card. We're going to take another Volkov Heavy. Well, we're gonna burn a Heavy because we have so many of them. We're going to play a Raid of Tombs because it's a free play for us. There are no cards on the board we need to worry about or deal with. And then we're probably going to develop a Cyclops over here. Or, no, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to develop a Frecky Huntress over here. Because now we have the Ignition in hand. Next turn, if they try to play off to block this, we can potentially Ignition to trade in to then get it Awoken. And then, yeah, Cyclops can be played quite wide. We're in a position where we can play wide. So, playing the Cyclops out wide can really dictate where they play. And the fact they're playing a quad colour deck Gem Cutter Spider's a nice play there. What does that do? It's credible 2 strength. I can't remember what that does now. Copy the minions. It's the vessel, isn't it? Yeah. Copy minion strength and mana and health into a 1-cost vessel minion that is added to your hand. So this is now a 8/8 vessel. This isn't ephemeral, is it? No. Is this ephemeral? It is ephemeral, so that's easy enough. So we just do this. Do that there. Do we take the trade? I think we have to, you know. So we're going to burn. We're going to burn something here. I think we want to burn a red, really. I think we burn the ignition now we know this is going. And that will actually allow us to trade in here. Do 2 damage, which is fine. Play this out wide and then play this in here. And we have the deported to get rid of this 8/8 ephemeral next turn. This doesn't have overrun. It will take 3 damage off this, put it at 4. I mean, we can drop Volkov Heavy in front of it, and it gets dealt with. So, yeah. I mean, this card is good. This card, there's no denying this card is good. The issue with it being the fact that, like, playing quad color can be very, very clunky. So, it'll be interesting to see how they run. Like, so they're drawing 2 cards. Did they play 2 of them? Wow. Okay, well that's a very nice play for us, isn't it? So we trade here 7 damage to the face. We actually burn. We burn the heavy. So what we can do is we can play this here. And then we can play Gammy in here. Here. Trying to think how they can trade through. So they could trade that into that and then trade 8 damage to the face. Play this here. They could trade that into that, trade that into that. They can trade that into that and swing through. So we play it here. And then we can still get the agile off, but they can't get through. And it sets up a little cheeky bit of dividation. We'll take the Panic Raider to get a card draw next turn. And yeah, so we're already 3 mana ahead of them. We are massively down on cards, which is concerning. Hopefully I play the 8/8 over here to try and block and we just deport the 8/8. That's fine. Having Fragile here is not the end of the world. No, this is going to die no matter what if they trade it. This isn't going to die. Unless, if we draw an Ignition next turn, that'd be good. We're probably going to play, we're going to play Raid the Tombs next turn. Oh, wow. Okay. Life tap. Interesting. Volition. My God, this card is nonsense, isn't it? Jesus Christ. How this card has not been dealt with yet, I don't know. 2 mana, 1 yellow gem, and it allows them to do 16 damage life tap to the face. Is beyond me. It is genuinely beyond me. Okay, so we're going to play you to draw a card. Hopefully it's Magmatar. It's not Magmatar. You can play Raid the Tombs. Let's see what we pull out from that. Another Panic Raider. An IQ. We can't play IQ now. No, so this has Agile, so we need to remove this, don't we? Basically. And we can then play this, right? I guess we have to play this, and we didn't. I suppose the divination at least allows us to set up for. I mean, Wait the Bones is good because we can pull Magmatar back. And then we don't need to burn anything for now. End turn. So, yeah, I mean, the divination was just it was. You could sit here and say it was a good play. I don't think it was a good play because I still think that card is very problematic. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting deck they've got here, and I like the fact they're running 4 gems, and I like the fact they've done this. But you got to remember, they've got 27 cards in their deck left, and they found both. They can only run 2 of these, and they found both of these If they don't find these, I'm not 100% sure what else they are building their deck around with quad colour. Like, yeah. Okay, so we drop IQ over here. We just remove this straight up, right? Yeah, we do that. Play Weight the Bones, and we pull Magmatar back. This puts us in a pretty solid position, considering right now we still have the ported. So right now we can do 7. We can do 17. Well, at the moment 16 damage to the face because the overrun here. We have Magmatar to remove lane removal, like potential lane removal. We have the ported to bump anything back to hand. So it's pretty. We're in a pretty good position. We have Panic Raider if we need to draw cards. We are drawing 2 cards next turn anyway, off turning to Fool. So we come back, considering they managed to get 16 health back with Gem Cutter and Volition. Oh look, I wonder what card they're going to pull back. What? No way. That's fine. We can just bump it back to hand. I mean, well, I'm not 100% sure what else they can play. Ooh, okay, that's fine. If we get another Detained, then that's pretty tasty. Shot One Ball and Raid Tombs. I think we'll play Raid Tombs first to see what our options are. We actually do have Lethal. I've just messed up. Have I messed up? No, I haven't messed up. What we do is we impale this over. We deport this. We swing 7 and we swing 3 for Lethal. And yeah, there we go. That's Lethal right there. That is it. Well, it turns out Volition is... I mean, it is problematic, but we can still overcome it. We can still overcome it. So, yeah, always nice to get a win. And that's how the budget deck works. It's pretty... Like I said, it's pretty good early game. It's pretty good mid game. It's pretty good late game. The late game isn't as good as the optimized version, but it's still definitely good. And the fact that we played a OTK deck there, it was good to get the win. So that's it. Let's jump over now to the optimized version and go through the more expensive one. Okay guys, so this is the optimized version of the deck. Same as always, I'll run through the cards, I'll then go through key combos, why certain cards are here, what we're looking to do with certain cards, and run with that. So, 2 Extract Life, same as before. 4 Ignition, same as before. 2 Shot Worn Balls, 3 Cyclopean Giants, Oak of Dodona, Wings of Abaddon, Gigamatakia, I'm going to say it wrong and people can comment all they want, it's how I say it. Gigantomachia, they try to say it better. 2 Magmatar, Stairway to Hades, Side Choke Chimera, 7 Ring Ritual, 3 Grinning Collarbox, 1 Rewind Hex, 1 Weight the Bones, 3 Detained, 3 Gallows Boys, 3 Raid the Tombs, 1 Hydra, 2 Volkov Heavy, a Murmur, Short Stag, IQ, and a Fated Firebird. So this deck here, if we look up here, is 19,300 essence more expensive. This is an expensive deck. Like it's not a cheap deck at all, okay? Now there is a lot of mythics in this deck, okay? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have got 10 mythics in this deck, okay? Now Gigamatakia is one that's there purely for control reasons. This is the Reds version of like a kind of Misanthropia, but in terms of it gets to late game and they've got lots of big units out. Even if you got big units out, sometimes it's a case of going, I need to just rewind. I just need to go, I'm done, okay? Stairway to Hades is a card that was only added recently to this deck, but I've had a lot of success with it. I've had good success with it actually, running it with Hydra. So playing it on Hydra, I've been having Hydra with the Frenzy and having Hydra build up and get bigger, and it's been, I've had a few times that's worked quite well for me. So yes, and then we've got, it's up here. Here we go. Chimera is a card I overlooked for a long time. I was like, nah, this doesn't seem that great. What's so good about it is it can be offensive and it can be defensive. Defensive, it covers 3 lanes at once. If you are really up against it and you're on the edge and you think, God damn, I'm going to die soon, dropping this somewhere that can cover 3 lanes is huge, like absolutely huge. having the Slayer 2 on a card, and it can be very like saving. It can also be aggressive, playing this wide when let's say you're ahead on life, your opponent's trying to push you wide right, you drop this wide left, you got 3 cards now that are effectively doing 9 damage next turn that they need to deal with, and all of a sudden now you're dictating where they play. So it's actually a pretty damn good card. It's not the best card, but it's definitely a good card. And 7 Ring Ritual is just bonkers. You play this card when you got a clear board, and if they've got a clear board, you sometimes just get the concede. They're like, yep, I'm done. I can't do anything right now. Then going up down here, Hydra is a card you could swap out. I put it in there, didn't like it, took it out. Didn't like what I swapped it with, put it back in there, ended up really liking it. Don't get greedy with this card. Like, what's nice about Hydra is, so if wounded at the start of your turn, fully heals and gets 2/2. It forces your opponent to make decisions. So you play this opposite a 2/1. Now, they don't want to swing the 2/1 into you because you're going to fully heal at the end of that turn, or the start of your turn. Whereas if you swing in to remove it, they now need to play something to rush. Otherwise, this is buffing at the start of the next turn. And buffing. And if they let this snowball, I've had this card manage to get to 12-13, and it's just like, how do I deal with this? But they were like, how do I deal with it? I don't know how to deal with this card. And it's just like, it's great. I can impel it across, remove almost anything, and it will fully heal next turn. It's not the best card, but it can snowball, okay? And I personally like it. You heard from Woody, I personally like the card. Heavy's just a great card. As you said, Murmur's really frustrating for people. Side note, if someone murmurs one of your cards, if you deport that card with Detain and Deport, it actually bumps the card back to your hand. So remember that when you're playing against someone as well. If they ever bump the card that you've murmured back to the hand, it goes to the owner's hand. That's whose deck it's from. So remember that. Short Stag, as I mentioned in the budget version, Short Stag or Aiku, they're both like a necessity cards in this game, in this deck. I'd definitely run them. And Fate's Firebird is another card I dropped because I didn't like it. I've then like, I'll give it another go, and it's actually very good. Playing this on curve can be really frustrating for your opponent. 5 damage to the face is a little bit nuts. Also, this on in very, very late game, I've had it once where this has gone on to Stairway to Hades, and it's come back as like a 5/4 agile frenzy, and it's just a little bit nuts. Like 10 damage to the face each turn is just, they have to deal with it. Like they have to deal with it. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's the optimized version. Yeah, it's a solid deck. I'm really, really enjoying this. So what we do with this one is we'll jump across to an actual ranked game and see how it performs in a ranked game. And I can kind of talk through how we play the deck in a ranked match. So 2 minutes, guys, and I'll see you right there. Okay, so we're into a match, people. They are going first, but we have found Collarbock. They look like to be playing a Reanimator deck, so it'll be interesting to see how it fares against that. We do have a Detain/Deport for against Reanimate, which is pretty big here. They didn't play a card opening turn, which is very nice for us. Stag is such a late game card because we want to pull something back as well. So we're going to burn the Stag to get the Collarbock out to then end turn. Yeah, so this the way we run these games are we don't always have to win the game. It's the case of we just play the game and I can talk through how we play the game, talk through how we play the deck, how I play the deck, and hopefully it gives you some pointers, some ideas on it. And yeah, like if we don't win, we don't win. If we win, we win. Perfect. Beautiful. Simple. So they're playing green Reanimate, which doesn't surprise me. So now we're going across to daytime, which means everything has Slayer 1. They've got rid of Aiku. That's fine. We want to we want to detain something really. I've got 2 detained, which is really good. We're going to pull this across. There we go. And trade. Oh, not trade. Swing, should I say. Extract Life is a lot later in the day. So normally we can't detain something now because I want to deport something next turn. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can keep rocking with this. We just want to get deport in our hand. So when they do bring this bad boy out, because it comes out of Ephemeral, we can just go deport. See you later. It's dead. Which is always a nice little thing to do. We can't do it next turn because you need 4 mana to be able to do the deport. But we might be able to detain something next turn and move away from it. So they've gone back to night. Interesting. Oh, they got a collar book out. Ew, look at you, little cutie. You little cutie thing, aren't you? They play this right in the corner, which is not the best thing because they're only going to get 1 value off of it. So I think we can probably get rid of the Raid the Tombs, to be honest. No, saying that we want to play Shopborn, so we're going to get rid of Chimera or burn Chimera, not actually get rid of them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And play Chimera here, meaning that they, even if they move 2 across, we're still going to get next turn. We can cycle cards through and see what we draw. We don't need another Cyclopean Giant, so I'm going to put you back and end turn. So we're going to be 1 mana ahead of them as well. They haven't seemed to have found their, what you call it, their Necromantic. Maybe they have now, who knows. But we still haven't detained. We're going to detain something. We can always detain and actually deport this back to keep them behind the mana curve, which could be interesting. I don't know if we want to do that. I think we want to wait and see whatever they pull off this to then be able to throw that back. We took the trade, which is clever. This is what I was saying earlier. Don't get greedy with Kolobok. Don't feel like you have to try and keep them alive as long as you possibly can. Just get the 1 mana bump off them, and that's good. Like, that is good. There's the Necromantic. That's what we wanted, isn't it? We can't trade into you because it doesn't kill them. It's kind of annoying. What we can do is we can detain it to then set up the whole the port for next turn when they do bring it out. And we need to burn a green, so we're probably going to burn this to be able to play Raid the Tombs. Yeah. Last jump. That's my fault. That's a silly mistake from me, yeah. Move this over, trade in there. Oh. Let's... I mean, IQ is pretty good considering we have on the board, we have... I think we put this back because we're probably going to play Hydra next turn and we have wings. So we're going to put the Giant back. We have 3 of them in the deck as well. I don't know if I want to take the trade yet. If I take the trade, they can trade in next turn. We can deport turn after that. So actually, it would be worthwhile. We're going to take the trade now while it's at no damage. And then they can trade into us to get the card out. And we can just deport it. We don't have anything else we can play, so we're just going to end turn there. I wanted to play Raid's Tombs, but I messed up my gem count, which is my fault. Hands up. My bad. My bad. Probably going to play Hydra next turn. It's going to be the plan. Saying that, we probably won't play Hydra next turn because I'm going to probably trade this now to bring out IQ, and then we're going to just deport IQ, leaving us at 3 mana. So yeah, we want to trade this soon. We're on 4 charger now. We don't want any more, so we want to trade this into something, and then we can potentially next turn after we can play IQ and drop the IQ out. Their IQ is going to be gone out of their deck, which is always good. Yes, they are on night at the moment, so next time they pop ability, they have to discard a card. So there you go, there's the trade, there's the IQ, which is fine for us. They're ahead of us on mana at the moment purely because they have okay, actually that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Because what we can do is we can move this across. We can impel it, because I want the trade. Trade that just to get I want the mana next turn basically. Just deport this. Get rid of it. That's a really good card to have. It's going to be better than Ignition. We need to burn something really. I feel like we might be burn wings, you know. Or Hydra. I think, is Hydra going to go out now? Probably not. Wings is good spot removal. The overrun. I think we burn the Hydra, you know. Yeah, there you go. We don't trade because this will die. This will take 1 damage. There's no point on that. We enter. And then they'll probably take the trade here, which is fine. And we can drop the IQ. So they are already 1 Necromantic down. And 1 of their is down. They are discarding a card now. So they're going down to 3 cards. We have another Detained in hand, ready to deport anything they're going to play. They got rid of Born Again, which is understandable because it will bounce back to their hand. There you go. It was a free spin round, so we have Slayer to play against now. So we're going to drop that down here. Bang. We're probably going to burn Fated Firebird just so we can actually throw this out. And end turn. So we're on 8 mana now, which is nice. We have an IQ out. They don't have an IQ. Their IQ's gone. They can pop this now to draw another card. So we're pretty even on card draw in terms of that. We're now pretty much past worrying about reanimate mechanics. We're now just playing the long game. We're now looking at who's got the best late game, or going towards late game, who's got the most to offer. So this is nice because it won't take the extra damage. So we're going to get 5 damage through off this and remove it because the armor will mean we're only get 5 through. I am tempted to actually detain this, because detaining this will mean that we only actually take 3 damage on it, which means this left at 7 health is still pretty threatening. We can move this across and trade in stat to get the extra mana, ready for next turn. Okay, that's fine. They're going to detain that. That means they're probably going to want to deport this, so we take the trade next turn. Ooh, Murmur's always a nice card to have. That's Foul Shao. So we move 1. We're going to Impale to move again. Then that. We're going to detain that, so only mean we don't take as much damage, especially with the Fragile. We swing through there. Let's get rid of it. Magmatar is a bad card right now, isn't it? I don't know if we need to play Raid's Tombs. I think we can actually develop some pressure, you know. I don't think we even need to burn another card. We have 9 mana next turn. So I think we can play wide, because they're going to want to watch out over here. So I think what we can do is we can actually go really wide here and swing this to the face. And now they've got to make a decision. What one do they block? Do they block the 8 or do they block the 4? Like, obviously they have the mana to play 2 units, but then with like something like Magmatar in hand is always good. Murmur can be pretty tasty. But we're now trying to force them about where they're going to play. We still have deported, so they don't actually have anything too concerning in here to worry about bringing back. I mean, this will come back to the hand at any turn, at the end of this turn. But we have, at the moment, we have 14 damage on the board. Misanthropia is a pretty good play there. We're still going to get 7 damage with that over there. Okay, so we're still going to get 7 damage here, which is tasty. We can actually play a Hydra now. Just here. And along with Hydra, we can play Raid's Tombs, which is going to put us at a card advantage. Extract Life is pretty big. We need to draw another red. That's the issue there. Let's end turn there. So Hydra wants to trade into something that is going to kill. We can always use Magmatar to help get the damage on it. So they are now discarding a card. Probably Born Again would make the most sense. There you go. Meaning we have Slayer. Okay, so Meso is fine now. It's kind of annoying we didn't draw a red. So we're gonna burn this now, we don't need it. We can swing the 4 damage to the face. These trade straight up, right? This 4 damage. Doesn't kill it. Play Raid to Tombs. Get some card draw. Gives us options. We still got command on the... so we could burn this next turn to develop this, can we? So I think we play this, you know. I think we can play this nice and wide over here. I say nice and wide. Spread the board out. So the only lane we haven't got covered is over here now. Overrun. Okay, what we're going to do is we're actually going to ignition to the... do we need to... Yeah, we're going to ignition to the face. The reason to do that is that if they play something here next turn, then what I can do is I can extract... If I can burn Magmatar to extract life to then swing this through, potentially. That's the logic behind my ignition then. Whereas if I didn't do ignition then, I wouldn't have enough gems to play extract life and ignition in the same turn. Vice versa, they play something... Or not vice versa. They play something that's free health here, I can just play Magmatar to clear it. I think all their damage has come from Smite. I'm not even kidding. So they got this. They're discard born again. I'd assume they're discard born again anyway. I know, so they draw a card, don't they? It's my bad. My bad. So we basically need Hydra to get through, which they can't swing into, or Heavy to get through, and they only have 5, potentially 6 mana to spend something on. Okay, so Misanthropia. It's fine. So we've got 3 damage there. We have 3 damage, 2 damage to the face. Sorry, because they're Misanthropia 2. Gallows boy. Ah, there we go. We won anyway. It's good. Oh, of course. Oh, because it fully heals, doesn't it? Heals before it does the damage, so we would have won. We would have won. There you go. Told ya, Hydra's overpowered, guys. Hydra isn't overpowered. But that was a good fun game, and that gives you that shows you, like, even against Reanimate, which is really making, I don't want to say a comeback, 'cause it kind of never really went away, but it's definitely becoming more popular again. Yeah, it was a pretty solid deck there. We never felt like we were out of control. We never felt like we were massively behind. It is expensive, I get that. It is 29,000 essence, and that won't help the argument of people going, oh, you need more mythics. There's a mythic heavy deck. There's 10 mythics in the deck. I get that. But if you played a game, like, not even tons. Like I took 3 weeks off the game because I had internet issues. But, like, if you play the game a reasonable amount, you'll have a lot of those mythics anyway. Not all of them that important. Like, Gigamatakia is one, or Gigantomachia is one that you don't have to have in there. I just like having it in there because the control version of it all. And same as, like, Sideshow Chimera, you don't have to have that card in the deck. But hey, and with the faction challenges, it's a little bit easier now to get at least 1 or 2 mythics from each faction. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap the video up. If you like the video, then make sure you give it a little like. And if you want to keep up to date with more Mythgard content, including the deck videos, including our new to Mythgard series, the next video being on lane placement, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I do also stream over on twitch.com/whatsupwoody. Link is in the description below. If you want to come and check me out on Twitch, I am available over there. There's also a link to the Discord in the description below, which allows you to come chat Mythgard, or chat gaming, or chat footy, or chat whatever. It's a chilled out vibe over on Discord if you want to come and join over there. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. Until next time, have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, where you guys are. And until then, goodbye.